How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Long day. No, it's good. It's all good. No, it's been great. It's been great. I mean, no, I'm. Look, I mean, this is over after today, so I'll milk it for all I can at this point.
You know what I mean? And
how's it feel?
Feels great. You know, I mean, I think in the glory days of TV, you know, this is the 90s, this show could go 10 or 15 seasons. It's different now, you know. No one's watching TV anymore, so they can't make the ad revenue, and they just can't support a show that costs as much as ours, which is not a lot of money in the landscape of what people are paying for TV shows these days. It's just the reality of it. But because of that, I kind of knew a year ago, like when we got picked up for season 4, we had some budget cuts, and I just saw the writing on the wall, which was great because I was able to not do this dance anymore of like, well, we get picked up or not picked up, and I just made a decision. I was like, well, let's just end it on our terms, just tell the story that we want to tell. If for some reason they want more, we'll figure it out, but I doubt it's going to happen. And so I sat down with the writers and figured out what's the best way to wrap these stories up. And it's not like I was taking a 10-season arc and wrapping it up in 4 seasons. It was a 4 or 5 season arc. In my head, when I started the show, I was thinking 5 seasons, 10 episodes a season, 50 episodes. We did 44, so it's about the same size anyway. So it wasn't like we didn't sacrifice anything to end it. We just found a way to take what we had and give it an ending. So, I was happy that we did that. Certainly now, having it, you know, knowing we're not going forward. But also, I was able to tell the cast that this was probably the last season. Tell them to appreciate. You see what's going on over here? I think this might be why we were canceled. This is what happened every single day. I was able to tell the cast that this is probably the last season. So as we shot the season, people I think did appreciate it more and came together. I mean, we were always a close cast anyway, but we were able to kind of grieve together. And as we got closer to the end, I had a calendar where we knew, like, oh, this is the last day we're shooting in the 59, or this is the last day we're shooting in the diner. And we knew that when we finished shooting, the sets were going to go away. We'd never be on them again, so it was very moving. You know, the last scene we shot in the 59, I know Alice was a wreck, and so was I. You know, because it's like having a car that you've been in for a long time, and you have to give it away, and you love it. You know, so but it was nice being able to do that. So that a couple days ago, when I got the call saying yes, there'll be no season 5, it wasn't a surprise, and it felt final, but it wasn't new, and everyone had already sort of spent the time, the emotions of it.
But considering the original comic, you know, had been so influenced, and you go away for a while, and come back for another, I feel like someday you'll get that call, and you're like, oh hey, let's do this again.
In TV, I don't know. Possibly. I think there's a better shot to maybe do a movie or something like that at some point. It would be a different story. I think the story we set out to tell, or I set out to tell in the beginning, of an alien coming here wanting to kill everybody and slowly figuring out what humanity is all about and learning how to appreciate them, that story's coming to a close this season. I think there could be a new story, but that story has... The beauty of these 4 seasons to me is that we have an arc of the story, and it's going to feel satisfying at the end. So I do think we can do it again. I don't truly believe that a streamer or someone's going to come in and say, we'll give you 5 seasons of the show because it's popular. There's just people, they're not doing that these days. 4 years from now, maybe things will change. And I'm open to that for sure. I think a better shot might be a movie, something that feels more like bring everyone back together, do something special, tell a new story that has a beginning, middle, and end, and fans would love it. We'd love doing it. So I think that's possible. Yeah.
Spent a lot of time sitting with what was it? I mean, one thing is that
it was well, probably the pilot table read was the first time I was like, there's something really special going on here, because it was the first time they'd been they met each other, several of them, for the pilot table read. So I remember sitting there, and whenever you have a pilot table read, everyone comes, all the studio people, all the network people, and it's also kind of a scary time because there's an awareness that often someone gets fired after the pilot table read. All the actors know it, like someone's going to get fired, and a lot of times the network president does it as like as a power move, or if, for God forbid, it's not, if it's a comedy, God forbid every page isn't hysterical, they don't think it's the writing, they're like, someone's got to go. Who's the bad, you know what I mean? So there was some of that fear. And then we did it, and it was just, everyone was laughing throughout. You could just feel the chemistry between the characters. You could feel the chemistry between Corey and Liz Bowen, and Sheriff Mike Deputy Liv, with Harry and Asta, with Alan and Sarah. You just felt like this is going to work. So that was the first time I really felt that. And then we started shooting. Same thing. It really felt special. It really felt special. The biggest moment to me where I'm like, wow, was in the pilot when in the scene where Sheriff Mike and Deputy Liv were in the car and they started beatboxing together. And that was not something that was scripted. That was in rehearsals beforehand. Myself and David Dobkin, who was directing the pilot, met with the actors and said, do you have any, like for Corey, David Dobkin said, do you have any special skills or something? And Corey's like, well, I can beatbox. And we're like, all right, do it. He didn't just beatbox. He beatboxed while humming Amazing Grace at the same time. And I'm like, what? How is that happening? So I'm like, I'm putting that in the show somewhere. So we just came up, we had them in the car, and we're like, well, let's just do it here. And then it was just like, you're waiting for Harry to show up. The scene was supposed to start with Harry driving up and then Mike getting out. I said, before that happens, Mike, Corey, you beatbox. No, I said to Liz Bowen, you're sitting there, turn on the radio. Mike, you're offended that she would want to listen to music. Turn it off and then beatbox because that's the music. And then you join in at some point. And then that was it. And then they did it. And it was such a perfect encapsulation of that relationship. Because Mike's doing it, and you see Liz Bowen sort of like wants to start but doesn't, and then she starts doing her mouth trumpeting thing. But he doesn't stop. He's like, all right, I'm going to keep going and see. And then they're doing it, and then Harry drives up, and he says, shut up or something. He goes, like, somehow it's her fault. It was just a perfect, that's chemistry. Like, that's just a perfect visual of what a character dynamic is without saying really any words. I mean, I knew that was special, and I thought if we could get that chemistry amongst all of them, we'd have something. So it was great to watch.
So, given an environment where people pay for television, will you stick with genre, kind of like this, or do you go for something that's kind of more like a kitchen scene?
I don't know. I mean, I like genre stuff. I love character stuff, but I also like character stuff with a bit of a twist in it. I love the thought that the world is magical in a way, and I love seeing that magic. This is a perfect example. It's like a normal town, but then there's an alien in the middle of it, and what does that do to the normal people? I love that. So I'd love to try to find something that's a little bit like that. It's fun to me to watch.
It allows people to escape.
What's that?
It allows them to escape.
It allows them to escape and allows them to, it allows you to use metaphor to sort of, this show does it really well, and I'm really happy about that. It's a Trojan horse to me for people to really think long and hard about humanity, but what we need to do better to be better. And if they can learn to accept this alien who's so different than them, and the audience maybe watching that can learn to accept the person that lives down the road that might have a different color skin or pray to a different god or love differently than they do, and invite them over for dinner or something and just accept them because they're human and we're all the same. That's what the goal was, and I think you can do that much more effectively sometimes in genre because doing it the other way often feels like a soapbox, and you can hide it in sci-fi, you can hide it in genre, you can hide it in comedy in a way you can't otherwise. So. That's what I'd like to do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you for the show.
I'm excited for you to see the last few episodes. It's been great, but the last few really ramp into something great. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited for people to see it.
We're excited to see it.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.